Here are the 7 different sources of income that the IRS has analyzed.
You can make some extra money at every
Well,
age.
these 9 side hustles I'm going to talk about can earn you a lot more than just $300.
It was at this moment I decided I was going to become the next Dragon Warrior. Wrong video.
Skadoosh.
I decided I was going to become an English tutor. I trained long and I trained hard. And after forgetting about it for 4 months, I finally finished my TEFL qualification, which it turned out I didn't need. So now that I was somewhat qualified, I now needed a platform to teach English on. Turns out there's quite a few. Loads actually. But I settled on Preply as I had lots of lesson resources, and since I was pretty new to this, that was something I really needed. Let me show you very quick. So let's pick a random topic, like food. We type it into the library, and as you can see, various lesson plans pop up. You have activities within them, from vocabulary to listening, reading, everything. So I applied to Preply and I was successful. Woo! Now before you go sign up to Preply, there is something you do need to know. The commission model of Preply hurts. The way Preply works is students first book a 1-hour trial lesson with a tutor to see if they like them. After that, they then have to buy lessons in blocks of either 6, 12 or 20 hours. Now the first commission issue with Preply is that they take 100% commission of that first trial lesson. So you're working for free for that first hour. Then after that, if your student decides that they do want to take more lessons with you and they buy a 6-hour block, then for each lesson after that, Preply takes a huge commission. It starts at 33%, but it slowly decreases over time as you do more hours, as you can see in this little table here. Anyway, let's continue with this story. After my application was successful, I went about filling in my profile, making a little profile video, which is very cringy, and then proceeded to talk about my vast experience of teaching English. I also had to pick my starting price here. I opted to go with $12. Everything on the site is done in dollars. I went with $12 as, although I don't really have any experience doing English tutoring, that's the lowest I would go, as if Preply are taking a third of that, so I'm left with $8, which is £5.90, which is under the minimum wage already in the UK. Now, because I'm a genius, I forgot to film during the first week. So let me bring you up to speed. After I'd completed my profile and everything, it took a day or two before I got my first booking. For reference, we're gonna call the day that I got my first booking day 1. Anyway, after I got this booking, naturally I was panicking and was terrified. I probably spent about 2 hours planning a lesson and another 2 hours stressing about it. But in the end, it went pretty well, and the students said that they were happy to buy hours with me, so I was like, yes, done a great job. They're gonna buy hours with me. It's gonna be great. And then I had 2 more trial lessons in the day or two after that. And again, they both went pretty well. I stressed a lot, prepared a lot, but both students said they would buy lessons. Now, one of those trial lessons was at 3:30 in the morning. Now you can set your availability, so you don't have to do that. But being the keen bean that I am, I read somewhere that leaving your availability open pushes you higher up the search rankings, which means you're more likely to get bookings. So I just left it open 24/7. Idiot. Big mistake, don't do that. It's not fun getting up at 3:30 in the morning to do a lesson. But on the day, I woke up eagerly at 3 AM, jumped out of my bed, and then sat at my computer stressing for another 20 minutes. The lesson went pretty well despite me being half asleep. Now a few days after, I had another couple trial lessons, and at the end of these trial lessons, again, the students were all saying, oh yes, we'll book lessons. But at this point, I had done 4 hours of teaching and actually earned no money, and no one had purchased a block of lessons yet. And if we include preparation time, then it's way more than 4 hours as well. However, things all changed on day 6 and 7. I had 2 more trial lessons. The students said they would book, except this time they actually did. Both of them booked pretty quickly afterwards. I had finally acquired 2 students. So after 8 days, 5 hours of tutoring plus preparation time, I have managed to make a whole, wait, let me go and show you, a whopping $8.04. I had like 3 days where nobody booked any lessons whatsoever, and now I've just had 2 people book a trial lesson within 5 minutes of each other. Bit weird. And of course, one of them is for 4 in the morning. Yay! I guess I'll see you then. Well, I'm alive and at least I woke up. I've now got 15 minutes to pretend to look awake. Here we go, see you on the other side. Got another 2.5 hours sleep, and now we're back at it again. Lesson number 2 of the day. So I've only just been paid for my second lesson, and I now have a total of $16. Where will I spend it first? Lesson number 3. Third and final lesson done for the day, so I'm officially clocking out and not thinking about English or anything related to English for at least a day. So it's day 11 and things are really starting to heat up now. I have 4 lessons today, I had 3 yesterday, and of those 4 lessons, 3 are paid, which means I'm going to be making around $24 today. Woohoo! Had my first back-to-back lesson, so my throat is dead, speaking for 2 hours. And I still have another 2 lessons. Lesson number 4, final lesson of the day, let's get it done. It's now been 11 days and I've actually decided to turn off my profile, which means that I can no longer get any new students. I've decided to do this because I've currently got 5 students who have paid for lessons, so I have 5 active students. So that's gonna add up to around, I'm estimating maybe 7 hours a week of lessons. And then when you include preparation time, slap on maybe 20 minutes for each, which is another 2 hours. So in total, I'm gonna estimate that's around 9 hours a week that I'll have to dedicate to tutoring. I'm starting university again very soon, so I don't want to take on more than I can really do, as I want to give my students good lessons and be able to provide them with value. So although this means this will limit my earnings for now, I think in the long term it's the best option to do, and a lot of people who would be doing this side hustle have a full-time job or are at uni like me, so I think it's probably a more realistic representation to be aiming for around 10 hours a week. But if any of my students leave or after their lessons are done, they move on, then perhaps I'll open up my profile and get a couple of new students and then turn it off again. I had another 2 lessons today and I really enjoyed those lessons. I know money-wise, so far, not been amazing. However, just getting to speak to people from all around the world is very interesting, and a lot of the people, or a lot of my students, are actually just lovely people and are really nice to talk to. So I'm ending the week in good spirits. So I've now had a full 2 days off from lessons, since I'm not taking on any new students, and most of my students like their lessons during the week. I've had a full weekend, which has actually been very nice, as these lessons do get a bit tiring and I don't want to burn myself out. So I think this is a well-deserved break. So we're currently on day 18. Things have been a bit quieter since I turned off my profile. I'm probably getting about maybe 5 to 6 lessons a week. For 18 days, we're on $96. Not amazing, but not bad. We're actually earning some money now. So I'm now in my final week of this challenge, and I thought I'd just update you on a few little things. So the past couple of days, and even the past week really, it's actually been quite quiet. I think a lot of my students have been busy with their work, life gets in the way sometimes, so I probably only had about 2 or 3 lessons in the last week. But I'm not too mad about this, as I was getting a little tired. Not burnt out, because I wasn't doing enough to get burnt out, but it was nice to have a little rest. On top of that, one of the students that I had a trial lesson with, I think my 2nd ever trial lesson, is actually just booked a block of lessons with me, which is very nice. Just 3 weeks later, but it'll be nice to catch up with her again. That now means I've only had 2 trial lessons where the person didn't book a block of lessons with me. And one of them, I was quite glad, to be honest. And the other one, well, I don't know, she just never replied again. But overall, I don't think that's bad going, to be honest. So currently I have 6 active students, and most are only doing 1 a week. I have 1 or 2 students that do twice a week sometimes. But at the moment, I think that's probably a perfect workload for me, given I'm going to be going back to university soon. So I think that's as much as I can kind of bite off right now. That's not the right saying, is it? That's definitely completely wrong. Oh well. Check out this spinny chair. So here we are on the very last day of my 30-day challenge. Today has actually been reasonably busy. I've got 3 lessons today, got 1 more to go, but I'm pretty much done. The previous few days have actually been quite quiet, so it's nice to have some lessons again, actually. Now, after day 30, my grand total was $181.68. Now, that was based on 30 hours of tutoring, which works out around $6 an hour, which is pretty terrible. However, of these 30 hours, 8 hours were trial lessons, and as time would go on, I would expect to be doing less trial lessons and more paid lessons. Plus, I would also be looking to increase the price in the future from $12, probably up to around $16 to $20. Now here's the thing, although I technically only made $181 this month, because students have to book blocks of lessons on Preply, I actually secured a lot more money than that. So after the 30 days, I actually had 39.5 hours of prepaid lessons which I hadn't had yet, the money in the pipeline. If I work this out, I would have 18 hours left at 28% commission, and then after that, the remaining 21.5 hours would be at 25% commission. In total, this equals $349.02. Now combine that with the money I actually made during these 30 days, and my grand total, including the future money I'm going to earn as well, is $530.70. Now that sounds a lot more respectable. So what's the verdict then? Well, it's definitely something that requires a lot of work, and it's definitely not one of these passive income streams that you see everywhere. The work is also greatest at the start, as you're likely not had a lot of experience with tutoring, so you've got a lot of things to get the hang of, and confidence issues to get past. For me personally, I was terrified for my first few lessons. I'm not great at talking to people, so I was very worried. As time went on, I got used to it, but even now, if I get a new trial lesson, I still do get a bit nervous beforehand, but it's definitely not as bad. I honestly do think this is a great side hustle. Not an easy side hustle, but it is a viable side hustle that you can do. It just requires quite a bit of effort. But honestly, there are two main advantages in my eyes, and none of these relate to money. Firstly, the experience of talking to people all around the world is not only interesting, but it helps you to improve your confidence. So if you're not a particularly confident person, then this could really help you and help you improve other areas of your life as well. The second reason is kind of like running your own business. You can set your prices, on Preply anyway, you set your prices. You have to try and make a sale to the students. You have to sell yourself so they book lessons with you. You also have to manage your time all the time and see when you're free, when your schedule's open. And it's a lot of work, but it is something similar to running a business, albeit a very, very small one. So is teaching English online going to make you a millionaire? No, it's not. But it can provide a nice supplementary income which can help you get through uni or make a little bit extra money on the side from your main job. And another huge benefit is you can do this from anywhere in the world. If you're on holiday, if you wanted to travel, you could still do this and be making money. If you want to know more details about how I planned my lessons and how I got new students, then let me know and I can make a separate video on it. Until then, peace out.